Now my voice is audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is H? What? I will I'll close this meeting if you will not answer. Someone please answer. What is H?
Channel 93.
No, your voice was not clear.
Magnetizing field.
Very good. Magnetizing field. Very good. Magnetizing intensity or magnetizing field. Okay. Abhijit is there or not? मम्मी आ रही है? मम्मी को बोलो अभिजीत सोनी किसी क्लास में नहीं आ रहा है मेरी। मैंने 1000 बार बोला कॉल करो ना, उसको कौन कराएगा? छूटा हुआ भैया, कितनी बार बोलना पड़ेगा? Okay, now what is H? H is strength of external magnetic field. We call it magnetizing intensity and its unit is meter ampere per meter. Okay. Now what is the difference between H and B? What is the difference between H and B?
H
It is independent from medium.
Of medium.
H is independent from medium. Okay. Suppose this is solenoid and there is nothing inside it. Inside it we have air or vacuum. Suppose we have air. Okay, so here relationship between H and B will be B naught divided by mu naught. So mu naught Ni divided by mu naught, you will get Ni. Okay, this is case 1. This is case 1. Now let's talk about other case. In this case, the core of solenoid is filled with some magnetic material. The core of solenoid is filled with some magnetic material and its magnetic permeability is mu. Okay, some magnetic material is already filled. Now what relationship will you use? B by mu, mu Ni divided by mu, and again you got Ni. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
When you will use mu naught and when you will have to use mu naught. Remember, okay? Now my next question is, what is I?
Intensity of magnetization.
Correct. It is intensity of magnetization. Its unit is also एम्पियर पर मीटर. क्या बोल रहा है राजुल वो? क्या? ये लेक्चर तो हमारा YouTube पे जा ही नहीं रहा. तो it is intensity of magnetization and its unit is also ampere per meter. ठीक है, यहां तक तो मैं कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी. There is no problem, right? Now let's try to understand what is it actually. Suppose this is a ferromagnet material. It's a ferromagnetic material. Okay, and I will create magnetic field around it with the help of a solenoid. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm creating an external magnetic field with the help of the current carrying solenoid. Initially, this ferromagnet substance do not have any magnetic property. Okay, and we switched on current. So can you see magnetic field lines due to the external magnet? Do you agree, bacho?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and after some time, what you will observe? After some time, what you will observe? Another magnetic field, right? What this red color magnetic field line represent?
I.
Induced magnetic field. Now, what is net magnetic field inside magnet? What is net magnetic field inside magnet?
Emitted.
Magnetic field plus induced magnetic field.
B naught plus induced means magnetic field created by solenoid means H into mu naught plus I into mu. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
100% agree with this equation.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully you understood what B naught represent. B naught represent external magnetic field created by the current carrying solenoid, and Bi represent induced magnetic field. Bi represent induced magnetic field inside ferromagnetic substance. That's why here I am multiplying by mu naught. I will multiply here also by mu naught, I think. Yes. So this is external and this is induced. Okay. Now, bacho, do you remember what is this? What is this? I by H.
Magnetic
Magnetic susceptibility.
Correct. It is known as chi, magnetic susceptibility. I forgot spelling. Okay. Now, can I write net magnetic field if I want to include everything? Suppose I am inside a ferromagnetic substance and I want to include everything. So can I write it like H into mu? I'm not writing mu naught. I'm writing mu. Net magnetic field. Net magnetic field is sum of external magnetic field which is in air as well as the material, magnetic field of the material. Do you understand that, bacho?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is equal to H into mu naught plus I into mu naught. Take mu naught into H common. Take mu naught into H common. What you will get? You will get 1 plus I by H. Agree? H got cancel. Mu upon mu naught is equal to 1 plus I by H. And this gives you mu R is equal to 1 plus chi. So you got chi is equal to mu R minus 1. Okay. Very important relationship. Let's understand this once again. You want to learn it again? Or understood everyone?
Understood, sir.
B net is equal to B naught plus B induced. Okay, so B naught is mu naught into H. Bi is mu naught into I. And here mu into H. Now take mu naught H common. You'll get 1 plus I by H. Mu into H. H got cancelled. Mu by mu naught is mu R. Now I cannot explain you this from the very basic. You need to understand this. Mu upon mu naught is a new constant, relative permeability. 1 plus I by H, and I by H is chi. So mu R 1 plus chi. Derivation is not at all important. Okay, derivation is not required. This result is required. This result is very important. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Now, let's try to understand this relationship from the point of view of a ferromagnetic substance. For ferromagnetic substance, chi is positive number. So mu R should be greater than 1. Do you understand that? Because ferromagnetic substance will start behaving like a magnet when you put it in external magnetic field. So ferromagnetic substance is showing positive result. It itself will become a magnet. And yesterday I explained to you, chi tells us how material is going to behave with the external magnetic field. Why chi is positive? Why chi is positive? Because ferromagnetic substance itself going to become a magnet. Okay, and why chi is positive? Because ferromagnetic substance attracts external magnetic field. Same like ferromagnetic substance, paramagnetic substance also. For paramagnetic substance, chi is positive. Chi is positive, but a small number. Chi is positive, but a small number. So mu R is little bit greater than 1, not very greater than 1. Because paramagnetic substance also start behaving like magnet when you put it in external magnetic field. Do you remember or not?
Yes, sir.
So paramagnetic substance will become a weak magnet. That's why value of chi is positive but not very big. So here we got mu R greater than 1. But which substance is going to behave weird? Come on, tell me, which substance?
Diamagnetic.
Diamagnetic.
Diamagnetic substance repels external magnetic field. Chi is negative number. Chi is a negative number because it creates opposite magnetic field. With respect to external field. And diamagnetic substance repel external magnetic field, right? Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
value of chi is negative. So what should be mu R? Mu R is less than 1 for diamagnetic substance. You agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Very important comparison. Please copy it.
Yes, sir.
It is important. Now, what is actually chi? It is I by h, sorry. I by h. So if you make graph between chi and temperature. So if you are making graph for between chi and temperature for the paramagnetic substance. For the paramagnetic substance, it will behave like that. Okay, if you increase temperature, what will happen? Magnetic property, a paramagnetic substance will lose its magnetic property. That's why chi is decreasing with increase in temperature. Do you understand that? So chi is inversely proportional to temperature for which substance?
Paramagnetic.
It means that when we increase temperature, chi is decreasing, means on increasing temperature, paramagnetic substance will lose its magnetic property. Do you understand that? Now, if you make same graph for a ferromagnetic substance, let's make a graph between सॉरी बच्चों, मेरा ये जूम काम करना बंद कर दिया था. अब आप आवाज आ रही है? Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. कितना how much you missed?
From the diagram.
Okay. Okay. See, we made graph between chi and temperature for ferromagnetic substance. What happened? What happened initially on increasing temperature? There is no effect. See, the value of chi was almost constant. Means initially there is no effect of temperature. Initially on increasing temperature, there will be no effect. But after TC temperature, now what is this TC? Curie temperature. Is this correct spelling of Curie? Darshita, what will be correct spelling for Curie? Am I audible?
हाँ, सही है.
सही है ना? Okay. But after Curie temperature, ferromagnetic substance will start behaving like a which substance?
Paramagnetic.
Correct. After TC temperature, ferromagnetic substance will start behaving like a paramagnetic substance. Okay. So what can we use this relationship, or there should be some change? C by T, where C is Curie constant. Can we use this relationship, or we need some change? Yes. So the new relationship will get this T minus TC, and this expression is valid for the temperature more than TC. Valid only when T is more than TC. Okay. So after Curie temperature, a ferromagnetic substance will start behaving like a paramagnetic substance. Now last graph between chi and temperature for a diamagnetic substance. What should be nature of graph? Can you tell me? As I already told you, the value of chi for a diamagnetic substance is negative, right? So it is independent from temperature. See this. For diamagnetic substance, that's why diamagnetic substances are perfectly fit to make bullet trains, because they are independent from temperature. You make any change in the temperature, the susceptibility of diamagnetic substance will remain unchanged. So chi for diamagnetic okay, and it has some negative value. Any doubt in this? Completed writing?
Yes.
Chirag, Bhumika, Avni,
Yes, sir.
Aryan, Akshay, Akash, Abhijit.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's quickly revise everything. Give me 1 minute. No, this is test paper. Give me 1 minute, बच्चों. Magnetism. Whoa. But you see this, I told you Curie law. Curie, correct spelling. This is, they are talking about Curie temperature. You can revise by your own. Oh shit. Okay, but you read this now. Please read this. Look at this. Look at this difference, bacho. What is happening? A ferromagnetic substance. Why this side liquid is going this side? Because ferromagnetic substance get attracted towards the external magnetic field. Okay. And why from this side it is going down? Why it is going down? Because diamagnetic substance repels external magnetic field. Okay. And see, paramagnetic substance going up by a very small amount. Can you see this? Understood, bacho?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the value of chi is negative and low for diamagnetic substance. Value of chi is positive but low for paramagnetic substance. And value of chi is very high and positive for ferromagnetic substance. Okay. This point is important for school. This point is important for school exam. This point. 2 points. These 2 points are very important for school exam. Okay. First difference, we already copied this. Cause of magnetism, orbital motion of electron. One of the electron will start moving faster and the other electron will become slow. Spin motion of electron, and this is due to formation of domain. It has already magnetic property. Okay, but when you put it in external magnetic field, it will form domain and it will start behaving like a strong magnet. 3 important differences. Next important difference, the graph. Okay, if you make graph between chi and temperature, so for a diamagnetic substance, the value of chi is negative. That's why the graph is like this. Okay, this is temperature. This is right temperature here. This is for paramagnet and this is ferromagnet. They made wrong graph. The correct graph is like this. Okay, they made graph after Curie temperature. Now, can you learn these values? Can you learn these differences by your own? Okay.
Yes, sir.
You can learn IH curve also. Last important difference. These all are diamagnetic substance. These all are paramagnetic substance, and these all are ferromagnetic substance. Okay. Now let's look into hysteresis loop. What is hysteresis loop? We'll have to start from the zero. We will learn hysteresis loop here. Suppose this is ferromagnetic substance, bacho. It is not magnetized right now. Suppose, bacho, we have control of current. Okay. we can change direction of flow of current. Initially, we are flowing current in such a way that N to S, like this side it is forming N and this side it is forming S. Okay. Let's make graph between I and H. This is H, this is I. Now what is I? What I represent? External magnetic field or induced magnetic field?
Induced.
Induced. So which one, I or H, which have some particular limit? And which one is limitless? Noor, tell me. Out of I and H, which is limitless? Which can be increasing easily up to any value? If you increase current, if you keep increasing current, what will increase, Darshita? If you increase current, what will increase? B means what will increase? H. It means you can keep increasing H up to any limit. Okay, Darshita? Okay, Anvit?
Yes.
Because this is external magnetic field, bachcho. So if you increase current, external magnetic field will keep on increasing, but it's a ferromagnetic material and it will generate its own magnetic field as well. So let's see up to which value, up to what value a magnetic field can come into it. We'll start graph from the zero because initially it was not magnetized. Okay. What happened, bacho? Graph became parallel to x-axis, means there is no more change in I. So what we should do? What we should do? We should not increase H after this. Do you agree with that?
Yes,
Because
sir.
because there is no profit even if you keep increasing H, Aryan, I is not increasing any further. I achieved its maximum value, Akshat. You understand, Nitish?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what you can do? It started from zero. Okay. Now you can do one thing. Now you make current zero suddenly. What if you make current zero? What will happen? The magnetic field inside this ferromagnetic substance, this magnetic field inside a ferromagnetic substance will increase or decrease? Shreya, magnetic field inside this bar magnet will increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Decrease, but will not become zero because this is a ferromagnetic substance. Magnetic field will decrease, but it will not become zero suddenly. So it will come to this point. Do you understand that? So what is this? What is this? This is called retentivity. Suppose this is OA. So what is this OA? Come on, tell me. What is this OA? Retentivity. Even you stopped external magnetic field, but our substance have some magnetic property. Means what is this OA? Speak.
Retentivity.
Retentivity, because it became magnet. It has its own magnetic field. Now suppose if I want to vanish this OA, what I can do? Suppose I want to eliminate this magnetic property of this ferromagnetic substance, what I can do? Come on, tell me what I'll do. Any idea?
Opposite magnetic field.
Change direction.
Very good, very good. Flow current in the opposite direction. So new magnetic field will come and new magnetic field will slowly, first new magnetic field will delete old magnetic field. New magnetic field will delete old magnetic field and then it will create a new magnet in the opposite direction. Do you understand that? So this much efforts, bacho, this much effort required, OB efforts required to eliminate I. Okay, OBH is required. OB portion of H. Oh, sorry. Hopefully you understood. How much negative magnetic field you need to apply? How much negative magnetic field you need to apply to remove I? You want to vanish OA, OB.
B.
Okay, so what you did, you applied H, external magnetic field, in opposite direction to vanish OA. Do you agree with that? Is it easy? So OB known as coercivity. I don't know spelling. We'll read it. OB is known as coercivity. Where it is? Where is the graph? This here they are representing it by this portion, where they are writing coercivity. See, retentivity they are explaining. OC is retentivity and OD coercivity. CORECITVIT. Read spelling and tell me where is that. Okay, learn this spelling and tell me. Okay, so what is this OB? Coercivity. You understand that? What OB represent? How much magnetic field you will have to apply in negative direction to eliminate a residue magnetic field or the remaining magnetic field. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And you have magnetized this bar magnet in the opposite direction. Okay. Now again, what if you make current zero again? What if you make current zero again? The graph will go back to this y-axis because now H is zero. Only I is left. Do you agree? H is zero. X-axis component is zero. Only I is left. Do you agree? That's why graph is going back to the y-axis. Now what? Now suppose I want to eliminate this also, OD also. What I'll do? Again, I will flow current in the same direction. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
Again, I will flow current in the same direction, and we will observe that slowly the graph is reaching at the same point. So this loop is known as what? Hysteresis loop. Okay, and area of this loop shows loss in energy. Area of this loop shows loss in energy in the form of heat. Because when you again and again magnetize and demagnetize particular material, what will happen? Its temperature will increase, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
its temperature will increase. So a lot of heat, a lot of energy will be lost in the form of heat. So you will get very small area of hysteresis loop in case of soft iron. Okay, in the iron in which the amount of carbon is very less. It means soft iron can be magnetized and demagnetized easily and with. Okay, for soft iron, area of loop will be less as compared to hard iron. Means a soft iron can be magnetized and demagnetized easily. Okay, bachcho? Completed writing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now let's read about this in detail. Okay, let's read about hysteresis loop and all in detail. Where it is? Yes, there we are. You can read this. Please read. You will understand everything. Every word you will understand now. No need to write this much in board exam. But you'll have to write like we are flowing current in a particular direction. Now we will make value of current 0 and then we'll get OC retentivity. Then we'll have to flow some current in the opposite direction to get coursivity. And we are magnetizing and demagnetizing and then again magnetizing in the opposite direction. And by repeating this thing, we are getting a loop. This is known as hysteresis loop. An area of hysteresis loop represents loss in energy. Okay. Now I will underline some very important points. Okay. Very important point. If you'll write these points, you will get full marks. Okay. Means you are giving name to the process. As you can see, O, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, B. Okay. Okay, area of hysteresis loop will give you loss. So here you are getting less area and here you are getting more area. It means this steel, this iron has more value of carbon in it, and soft iron means less value of carbon in it. Okay, so you can compare, you can read this by Rohn. I think my help is not required. Now, this is very important. This formula is very important for South Indian student for their KCET exam. VA and T. Now, what is V? Volume of that substance, ferromagnetic material. Okay, and A is area of VH loop, and is frequency of the current, means how in 1 second how many times you are changing direction of current, and T is time. Okay, this is a direct formula. And now you can solve all these questions by looking at solution very easily. Okay, I will send you this file. But in this file, bacho, magnetism is given in very detail. I have covered all the important points. Okay, this question is coming in your school. This difference in comparative study of magnetic material is coming in your school. But no problem for CBSE school students. It is not part of CBSE board now. It is removed from the CBSE board. But I am not sure which part is removed, which part is still there. So you please cross check once. Okay, this Curie temperature, what is Curie temperature? What is Curie law for school? Okay, domain formation and all. These things will come in school. Okay. So only one thing is left. That is one topic is left, which I will teach you with IIT batch. I'll tell you name of the topic, where it is. Yes, this thing. What is name of this instrument? Anyone knows? Tangent galvanometer. Yes, this instrument is very important, and I'll teach you this with IIT batch day after tomorrow. Okay, be ready for a test. Now when you will do practice from Speed Lab, you will be able to solve maximum questions. Okay, tangent law and its application is left, so in the next class we'll do it. Okay bacho, one more class is required for magnetic material and magnetism, and after that we'll start EMI. Bye everyone, take care, enjoy your life.